Hey, I found a cool place to go. We can run or we can take it slow. Won't you come with me? Completely off topic. Mama said I never make it big, but Mama, I don't really feel that way. Won't you come with me? Completely off topic. Oh, ain't it nice to be completely off topic?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Susan and Meg, Completely Off Topic.
That's not the name of our podcast.
What's it called?
It's called Completely Off Topic with Susan and Meg.
Yeah, exactly what it said. So I'm Meg, and this is
Susan.
Yeah. And today we are welcoming a very, very special guest, Christin Hanly. She's an incredible screenwriter, and we are so thrilled to welcome her into the home studio today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. So the burning question on everybody's minds is, how do you make cold foam?
This is I am an expert at this. It's new to me, a skill that I have just mastered, and then I make my own caramel sauce too. So it's like,
Oh my God,
this
stop.
whole week has
Every
been,
detail, yes.
I have not been working. I have just been making coffee. You just get high protein milk and put it in a jar and like shake it.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Good.
Just shake it, just
You
like
shake
that.
it like this.
Yeah.
I feel like you're really good
really
at that
vigorously.
action.
Yeah. Vigorous.
Vigorous
Okay.
shake.
And is like grip important?
I guess if you don't want it flying out and like hitting
Right.
you or something, you
Yeah.
probably want to keep a close eye on that cold foam.
Yeah.
Like a 3 to 5 minute shake,
3
maybe.
to 5 minutes.
I don't know.
How are your biceps?
So strong.
Yeah.
And both of them.
So you're
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
ambidextrous, I'm like
Yeah.
bilingual.
Bilingual. That's good.
Very intelligent.
I'm left-handed when it matters, but I can shake with both hands.
Wow.
That's great. So does the temperature of the milk matter? Like, does it have to be like cold from like extra cold with ice in it or anything like that?
No,
or?
just right out of the fridge.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have been using like extra high protein
Okay.
milk.
How do you find, what is
Yeah,
that?
like what brand is
It
this?
just says extra protein on the
Oh.
label.
So like just inject protein into the milk.
I guess. I don't know.
What is protein? Like how is that, what kind of substance?
Susan, I'm not a nutritionist.
Like is it a liquid?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. They do some sort of like special milk magic,
Oh, milk magic.
and then it's just like extra protein.
Okay, I want you to start a company that just is for cold foam, and it's called Milk Magic
Yo,
Cold Foam
I went-
High Protein Milk.
I went to a coffee shop and I had a cold foam coffee,
Yeah.
and they poured it out of a carton, and I was like, dude, that's not what I want. I don't want it from a carton. I just
Do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shake it up.
just shake it.
Interestingly, my daughter is a fan of poutine, and she's like,
Why do you say it like that?
because that's how I call it. So she was
Say
like,
it again.
poutine.
Poutine.
She was like,
How do you say it?
Mom,
Poutine. But she emphasizes the poo.
I do. emphasize the
Poutine.
She's like, Mom, poutine is so good for you. And I was like, no, honey, that's not true. And she's like, yeah, it's like the building block of our muscles. I was like, oh, we've got it mixed up with protein.
Yeah.
And it's,
But
yeah.
hers is way better.
I know.
I much prefer, I'm vegan. I would much prefer to have a lot of poutine.
Can you imagine?
protein.
She's like, this is great. This healthy living, I'm telling you. We
It's
got
so
it sorted
easy.
out.
Building block.
Why do people complain about healthy living? It's so easy.
So easy.
Potatoes, good.
Yeah.
Gravy, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Cheese, good.
All the things.
Salt, good.
Good.
When I have to tell a very embarrassing story. The first time that I had been to Montreal, I was young and naive, and it was the 90s, and I didn't know how to say poutine. I asked for poutini.
Poutini?
Yeah.
Like a crantini?
Which
or what were
is
you
a French
thinking?
word for something else.
What is it? What is it? Is it like a
Like your bum.
punani?
Kind of like that. I think also like maybe has to do with a little bit of prostitution.
Oh,
I don't know exactly, but
okay.
the guy gave me a very strange look.
It's so close. Why
So
would
close.
prostitution be so close to a French fry dish?
And
Maybe it's the gravy.
Quebec, Montreal. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. Things to enjoy.
Mhm.
And so what did they do
They
when you
did
said
not
it?
find me a prostitute. disappointingly.
It's like we have both. Which one would you like?
She's like, what do you want to do?
Yeah. How much money
really
you got
hungry,
there?
actually.
Yeah. She's like, okay.
Yeah, I can do
cool.
that. I can
yeah.
make you some
little
French fries.
Sounds great.
Don't need a
Yeah.
lot, just a little.
Yes.
Oh, we went to Montreal.
Sex positive Montreal.
Yeah.
It actually is very.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love Montreal.
Me
nice.
too.
We went. My second son, he had a hockey tournament in Montreal. Is this not a joke, by the way? We go to Montreal for a hockey
Are you
tournament.
guys Canadian?
We are Canadian, but usually, I'm sorry, but there's hockey rinks right here in
yeah,
Alberta.
right here. Yeah.
And we know all of them, like all the small town ones. We've been to all of them. Anyway, so we go to Montreal. And while we're, it's like a town outside, but we go into Montreal on the last day. And my friend Catherine's from Montreal. And so she takes us to her hangout where she used to go, like after the bar, they'd all go to this place. So we go there and Cade tries the poutine with Montreal smoked meat.
Oh, that would be yummy.
It was so good. But then the next
Yeah.
day we went back, and it was the last day we were there, and he had the poutine with wieners cut up. Hot dogs, and he was like, "This is way better." And then Catherine was like, "That's the one I used to get after the bar every time." And I was just like, "I'm like, this looks disgusting to me.
That's
like,
really
it looks
funny.
So gross." So I went
Yeah.
next door and I had a falafel. So I was like, "At least there's some veggies in this."
Yeah.
But
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doubling down on the salt.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But even the Montreal smoked meat, you'd think that would
Yeah.
be the
More decadent.
Epitome.
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's the wiener.
hot
It's the
dogs.
hot dogs.
Was it a special hot dog or just like the
It was.
Oscar Myers?
It was not even labeled on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were not even sponsored by a
Yeah.
hot dog company. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
basic it was.
Yeah.
We used to, okay, the hot dogs, I'm just going to keep following my own train of thought, you guys.
Yeah, hot dog.
I got a hot dog story too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my hot dog story is when we were kids, we had this favorite snack. And so it's really gross now when I think about it, but it was like raw hot dogs, and you would take saltine crackers. I can't remember the brand. What's the brand of that cracker? Like the
Premium Plus?
Premium Plus.
Yeah.
We take a Premium Plus, and you would crack it around the wiener and eat that like a sandwich. And it was like, it was our favorite snack ever. It was, now I'm thinking about it, it was like so disgusting, but I'm sure I'm vegan. But if I ate that, I would just be brought back to like
Oh,
being
for
10.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's your wiener story?
Okay, my wiener story is a bunch of us were going camping for May long weekend, and we were young adults. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
But I knew when you pick out a hot dog, you have to choose your animal, or else you will get a multi-animal
Oh,
hot
like
dog.
pork or beef.
Yes.
Right.
So my friend came back and was like, "We got the cheapest dogs in the world," and it was like 24 hot dogs for like $4 or something. And I was like, "Okay," and I turned it over, and it said ingredients, and it had chicken, pork, beef, and they were like beige in color, and I was like, no. I know one thing about how the world works, and it is that we have to choose the animal. Like, we can have chicken wieners, or we can have pork wieners, or we can have
But why
beef
can't you
wieners.
mix them if you're getting
Because
the same parts?
it was
in either-
just hoovered off of the meat packing
They
floor.
did that
Yeah.
too, just with the pig.
I
or
know,
just
but
with the cow.
I feel like that's more respectful to that little critter.
Not mixing these
and
animals.
not wasteful. I mean, it's not wasteful anyway. I mean, truly, hot dogs are
They are.
really about recycling.
They're environmentally friendly.
They are.
Yeah.
But I felt like, maybe I think we'll enjoy these dogs more if we just pick the beast.
Do you remember the Kids in the Hall sketch about hot dogs?
No.
Bruce McCullough. He's like that little boy.
Oh,
his
yeah,
little boy
yeah.
one. He's like, "Hey, do you know what's inside of wieners? There's dog's brains and cow's farts and wiener flavor." That's total paraphrase. That's
Yeah,
not actually
yeah.
said, but he had all these ridiculous things and wiener flavor. Just like, that probably is what's inside of hot dogs.
Yes.
Ugh.
Here's a question for all of us. How much did Kids in the Hall influence your sense of humor? I don't know if you watched it. a lot,
Oh
but
yeah, of course.
like,
That's what I grew up
it's
with.
a
It was like,
cornerstone.
yeah. I was probably a bit too young to start watching it when I did, but
Well,
yeah,
that's like an age brag. Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I'm Susan. I'm
so
very
young.
old.
No, I was thinking you're young because you were
No.
too young to.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I think we're probably about the same age. But I watched X-Files and Kids in the Hall, and
X-Files.
these are like the things that influence me as a writer and me as a person.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, if you can't pinch somebody's head, I mean, what are you doing with your life?
What are you doing?
Crush your head. I crush it.
Yeah.
I actually do this with my kids. My
you?
kids know the crushing. They've never
Yeah.
seen the sketch.
Yeah.
But we crush each other's
I'll
heads.
pull it out sometimes and show Susanna like certain things. I'm like, she needs to know what this is.
Mhm.
One of my favorite sketches is they're talking about innovation, and he's like behind a desk and he's interviewing someone, and he's like, innovation, like using this mug as to hold my pens, and he's showing examples of like things
this
being
Mark,
used
or
as
who
other
is
things. The one with the curly hair.
Kevin.
Kevin. It's
Yeah.
Kevin. So he's using all these examples of just silly things that all of us do. And it's Dave Foley is applying for the job. And then he stands
getting it.
up and he's like, or instead of underwear, the body of a guitar. And he stands up and he's like, he's in the shape, like his body is in the shape of like he's clearly climbed into an acoustic guitar instead of underwear. Like it's just, and his belt is like talking, and it's so funny. And it's just like, and Dave is just the proxy for this nonsense. It's just so beautifully done. Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
liked my pen.
Yes.
yes.
My pen. He taught me. He took my pen.
Yes.
And the Head Wound Harry somehow.
Oh yeah.
And Cabbage Head.
Cabbage
like there
Head,
was.
yeah, and the
Chicken Lamp Woman.
Yeah, there's so many classics. I think the beauty of it is that it's so simple and absurd and like everyday things that they've just taken and escalated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so Canadian, and
Yeah.
I just love it.
I think they did a great job with the jingle too.
Yeah.
Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dum, dum, dum,
Yeah.
dum, dum, dum. Like you want it, like you're excited
Yes.
to watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think like for me watching it, I remember being really interested in improvisation as a kid and in school. And I would see kids just do like impersonations of all women. Like they'd have a woman character and she wasn't funny. But somehow kids in the hall could make it funny. And I had this moment, I remember being like, because they're doing stereotypes of women, not women as a collective stereotype. And I understood that subtlety. And I think it really helped me understand like how to build character and what all of that is. Because I remember being so frustrated with kids in my class, like sloppily trying to do that. And but not in a cruel way. They were trying to be the kids in the hall, but I was like, something's missing. And I remember doing a real deep dive onto like what that subtlety was. And when you're 14 and you figure that out, it's like, whoa,
I'm a genius. I got it all figured out.
so good. And then I got into Monty Python.
Oh my
from
God.
that.
So I was in Monty Python almost before because
Yeah.
my dad went to boarding school in England.
Yeah.
So he's very Monty Python and like just, what's the other ones? Faulty Towers.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they do women so well.
Yeah.
And I love it when they do women playing men. Like they have that one where they can't wait for this stoning to happen.
Yes.
But only men can go to a stoning.
Yes.
And they're dressed up as women, dressed up as men so they can
So
be
they
at
can
the stoning.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it's so stupid and funny and brilliant. And
Yes.
like, why can't women be there? And they're men dressed as women. Like, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Or there's one where it's like the Women's Society of, it's like their church group, and they've decided to put on a production of like reenacting a war of some sort, a battle of some sort. And so they just show up in their church dresses and then just wail on each other with their purses and stuff.
yes.
Until their skirts are up and their panties are showing. And it's just like so beautifully silly. Like it's just, yeah.
How women should be.
I-
That's what they were basically saying.
That to me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take aim at how a man is a woman.
Yeah,
That's
I should be. Life lessons.
life lessons from John Cleese.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
I took my dad. Okay, so for my family, I've started doing things where it's like, I'll do experiences with them for Christmas or birthdays or stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we have so much stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And like, and sometimes you get people things, and I'm like, I don't know if you're ever going to use this or whatever. So for my dad, I took him to John Cleese
Cool.
at Jack Singer, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his daughter opened for him.
Oh, cool.
And she's out of LA. She did a lot of jokes about how her dad wouldn't have to do comedy anymore if he stopped getting married.
Yes. Oh my God.
For all the divorces.
Yes, there's a wonderful interview between him and Eric Idle. And they're asking Eric Idle, and I don't know how long Eric Idle's been married, but they're like asking him like the secret to like a long marriage. And John Cleese like adds up all of the years he's been married to anyone. And he's like, oh yeah, like 34 years. And Eric Idle's like, that's like so many different people. Like, that doesn't count.
But doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? He's been married for that many years.
For that many years. Yeah.
Who says you have to be married to the same person?
Keep it fresh.
That would be amazing to have like your sixth spouse and you finally at 50 years of marriage and you celebrate with your sixth spouse who
God.
you've been with for like 5 years.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to get married again.
You just have
You're
partners.
married.
I'm married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
Coming up on 11 years.
Ooh.
Yes, I know.
Big 11.
Yeah.
I don't know what the anniversary is, like a rock maybe? Or
Oh yeah, it's always weird. The off,
Yeah.
the like odd years. are
Copper.
always- Yeah,
I don't know. I'll
It's
have
like
to
a
look into it.
fiddle leaf of a fiddle tree or something.
Yeah.
Fiddle tree. I've never seen one, but I think you can put them down your pants though.
You
Just
could wear
like
them as
guitars.
You can wear them as pants. Yeah.
Ah. So
Yeah.
would you have the guitar as the underwear and then the fiddle tree
As a plume.
coming out of the guitar?
This is
Yeah.
giving me all kinds of fantastic ideas for my anniversary.
Yeah.
Just like, just gonna do it up. Guitar pants,
Husband's gonna
couple
come
of leaves.
Yeah.
see you dressed in all this stuff. It's like, what's happening right now?
I was
you
gonna put my wedding
remembered.
dress back on, but I think this is a
Happy
much better.
anniversary.
Yeah. Gonna do the jazz.
Just for you, baby.
Can play the guitar.
Here, just strum right here, baby. Just give it a little strum. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's
My
been
Yeah.
parents
11 years.
my parents just celebrated their 50th.
Yeah, my
Like-
parents have been together forever too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did like a party at a restaurant for them, but my kids wanted to make something for them. So we looked up, 50 is gold. 50 is gold. And so we got like wire and my kids made like, what's it called? Like a dream catcher or one you put in the light in the window. I got this, you guys. I got it. Everybody's gonna know what I'm talking about. So they made a tree, right? So they took the bottom of the wires there and they twisted together, made this tree, attached it to the top. And then I took a rock. So this is where I'm thinking of is the rock. I took a rock and I put the wire around the rock this way and I twisted it in the middle.
Oh, neat.
And then from there, I pulled it out and I made 3 branches because they have 3 kids. And then just made a little tree thing out of that. And I took one piece and I brought it up and I made it into a 50.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I was like, I thought it might be cheesy or dorky. And then when I finished, I'm like, this is so pretty.
yeah, that's
like,
really neat.
Just a little sculpture.
You're so crafty.
I am if I no. I don't know. I feel like I have potential, but I
Yeah.
don't tap into it very
You haven't
often.
tapped into your crafting potential.
Yeah.
I have the very neurodivergent tendency of starting crafts and then not finishing them. So I have like all the supplies and
Yeah.
like 70 half-finished projects.
You could put 11 of those together and use that as your gift,
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
right?
Here's my half-finished rug, crocheted with some jewelry, with some paper art. Yeah, some clay. Throw some clay on there. It will be a monster of an anniversary gift.
You take a wire,
Yeah.
which is the thread of your marriage
Yeah.
and your relationship. You put it through all of it.
Look at all this
You
unfinished business
attach
we
it
have.
together. Yeah, we've got a lot to work on. We have a lot to work
That's
on.
great. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's sending the right message. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
Put it like a wreath or a necklace and put it on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wear this now.
And then make love to him with that on.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah. This is.
I think it's a ritual
A
now.
lot
Yeah.
to think about. A lot to think about.
Yeah, I think we could put together a book we could sell for people, just recommendations of
Or start a book.
ideas.
We could start a book.
Start the book.
Yeah.
That's great.
How to finish those projects?
Yeah.
In an
Or how to
untypical
start
way.
the projects.
Yeah.
What to do with all your unfinished projects.
101
wire.
ways to celebrate your 11th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 11. People overlook it.
Yeah.
We got like 2 months, so I think we could probably get it published.
What we
by
could
then.
do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to cancel a lot of things.
Mhm,
And
just
we're
to-
going to focus.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm divorced. So I'm going to help you make yours work.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think it's
too.
the
I think that's
craft
what you're
projects
saying.
holding us together.
I think that's what you're saying. Help me, Susan.
Yeah.
I'm happily married for 11 years. Help me. I got you.
I appreciate it.
I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You leave it with me.
Yeah.
How long were you married for?
11 years.
Oh no.
We were together for 14 years, and I think we were married for 11. But it got confusing with all the lawyers arguing back and forth about
like when it ended.
Which
and when
art
it
project
started.
belonged to who, I
Yeah,
guess.
Yes.
goodness, he wanted all the art. I
Yeah.
got the coffee machine, so and I could make more art.
And you can make cold foam now.
Oh my God, totally. I'll just get some protein, inject it into my cashew milk that I make at home.
Yeah. Your cashew milk probably would shake
Your
really
cashew-
well.
Protein.
Yeah.
Protein.
Yeah.
Protein.
It's poutine.
It's
protein.
All you got to do is shake it a bit.
Oh my
Just
God,
shake
I'm
it
gonna
up.
shake it.
I guarantee if you shake that, it's gonna make cold foam. Yeah.
I am going to update you guys very.
Yes.
Very
I
excited.
just made. I'm pointing at the cashew milk through the metal it's held in,
Yeah.
and I think it's fresh. I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to let you guys know,
Yeah.
and then we can start even a vegan line.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a lot of work
We got a
on
ton
our
of work
So
ahead of us.
exciting.
We have
Yeah.
a company to start,
Yeah, some
crafts to
crafts.
finish, a book,
A book to
Yeah.
write.
Kids in
Yeah.
the Hall to watch,
Yeah.
to rewatch, Monty
Oh,
Python.
God, that's like the easy thing is Monty Python. You can find kind of everywhere. It's all over. It's streaming all over.
Okay,
the
what's your
place.
favorite Monty Python?
I couldn't eat another bite.
Oh, waffle in milk.
Yeah.
Waffle.
Yeah.
But how about this waffle?
Well, I think every Christmas, all of my entire family, we all say, "I couldn't eat another bite." All of us, every time. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I feel
How
like
about you?
why would I ask such a dumb question? Now I have to answer it.
Yeah.
This is impossible. I really like the one where he sees two people, but there's only one, and he has to keep going. Like I think it's John Cleese, and he has to keep going. Oh, right. He's like, so you want to go on this adventure, or whatever? They want to go,
Yes.
and they're going to go and build a bridge between two mountaintops.
Yes.
And the guy comes in. Oh, what's his name? Graham comes
Yes.
in. And he starts talking about the plan, and he starts walking across the bookcases, and he steps on furniture and flings
Yes.
things over.
Yes.
And Eric Idle, I think, is the one in the
Yeah.
seat, and he's like, "Oh, I don't even know if he knows why he's there. I can't remember. I
Yeah.
just like all the ridiculousness of
Yes.
the physicality that they do.
Yes.
Silly walks.
Oh, silly. Yeah. Ministry of Silly
busted
Walks
me.
is so good.
Yeah, when I was little.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah, Silly Walks. It's a classic.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, I think.
That's your favorite.
is it?
Yeah.
There's-
It's so silly.
It's so silly.
So good.
During high COVID, when all of us were allowed to
There was
like
high COVID?
it
Was
was,
this
high,
a-
it was
I wasn't
like
invited to
high
that.
lockdown.
Yeah.
You
My
know,
favorite.
Yeah.
I loved
And
it
we were
so
all
much.
like, "Can I walk on the sidewalk with my kid?" Like it was those times.
Yeah.
And so we're walking. Susan and I would go make sure we went for a walk every day. And someone had put on their front lawn, like from corner to corner, Ministry of Silly Walks. And so we would silly walk in front of their house every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
love
great
that.
idea.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Jace would play saxophone outside for
Oh,
the neighbors.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be
really
like,
nice.
you should go out and give some art. And he would go
Yeah.
out, and we have neighbors across the street, these two little kids, and they would go outside and dance.
on
their
that's so
stoop.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some girls who would have a dance party every Wednesday morning, and they would just like play music, and they invited the whole neighborhood to like come out and dance on your lawn. And there was this little boy, he was maybe 2 years old, and he was trying to call them the ladies, like
Yeah.
it was the ladies' party, but he called them the Lalies. And so we were out for a walk, and he invited us to the Lalies. So his grandmother interpreted what was going on. And so then from then on, like our whole block was like, "Are you going to the Lalies?"
Aw.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's so
cute.
sweet.
Yeah.
I loved Costco during COVID.
Were there more samples?
No.
No, there'd be no
There was
samples,
like
but you
50
just had
people in
space.
the entire store.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody was wearing masks, and you could just like take your time and get the things that you actually needed.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that you didn't actually need.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I get like hip checked and run into in the cars. And
That's
people
me.
are
I'm
like
sorry.
really aggressive
Yeah.
over like $8.99 strawberries.
Yes.
Like,
Hydroponic
yes.
ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are those okay?
They're
What does
okay.
that mean? Hydroponic. I know it's
They're
grown.
grown in water.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just like a hot house.
But are they still? Do they still have like pesticides and stuff on
No,
them?
they shouldn't.
So why don't they call them organic then?
I don't know. It might be how old the farm is. Like
Maybe
if
the
they,
seed is
or the
GMO'd
seed
or
is, Yeah,
something?
it could be
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Because that's my struggle with buying those.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to know they're organic.
If you like Google the greenhouse wherever it's from, you'll find out that information.
Oh.
And you can find out their stage of designation of like, are they organic or are they? Because I remember we had a community shared agriculture, And he was like, I can't say that I'm organic because we haven't been organic long enough for the soil to have rolled over. So he's like, but
Yeah,
we're organic,
Yeah.
you know, but there could be old pesticides from 10 years ago or whatever that time
It's
period
so
is.
tricky too because your
Yeah.
farm next to you might not be organic and it
Yeah.
can come over.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
there's
like-
that kind of designations. So, but that's still like, I would rather have that stuff than,
Yeah.
you know, like highly processed, like the pesticide-y stuff.
Yeah, I can't eat from the States if it's not organic because I know they're just going to
Yeah, they
do everything to it.
Yeah.
But it's something about like, I've heard that if you do like, if you get your food from like BC and it's like, it's not necessarily organic, but it might be greenhouse grown or it might be
Yeah.
it's less pesticides, but I don't know.
The greenhouse lettuce should not have any pesticides in it. The way that grows,
Yeah.
there should it's in the facility should be pest free.
Yeah.
And then because it's not outside, there's not wind and rain and bugs all coming around. So it's just a more controlled environment. So the lettuce should be
Yeah.
pesticide free. I don't know if it's organic, but it's
Yeah.
pesticide free, which I think to me is
That's the more important
thing.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the advantage of growing in a greenhouse.
You can grow lettuce fairly easily here, though, too. It grows in pots and in the shade. It likes cool weather. I like to garden.
Do you?
Yeah.
What are you growing this year?
I have tomatoes, 3 different kinds, and hot peppers, and arugula, and spinach, and strawberries, and carrots, and peas and beans.
Nice.
Do you do yellow beans?
No, I think I just have green beans and snap peas and like the regular peas this
You have
year.
a lot.
I have a lot.
Do you have a big backyard? Nice.
It's not too big. It's actually like we really like it because it backs onto an alleyway, so it doesn't feel like we're smushed up next to somebody.
Nice.
Right.
But it's very nice. It's a mature yard, and the people who had it before us did a really nice job landscaping it. So I've been digging most of that out. Just some overgrown bushes and stuff like that, so I can put my plants in.
You can be too mature, you know?
Yeah,
Gotta be
exactly.
playful and young sometimes too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Even a garden.
Needs a refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to live in a condo. And during COVID times, I got the master class on my phone, like the app.
Oh yeah.
And so Rhett was learning about gardening and science, but you know, it's like a handout over the internet.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't really care. I'm like, well, you got to learn this. So how are we gonna do this? So we watched this master class where it's like ghetto gardening.
Oh,
It's this guy from Compton.
Oh, cool.
And he like makes things out of like he'll find old rubber boots, he'll drill a hole in the bottom, put a plant in it.
Yeah.
And like make
totally
this,
resourceful.
yeah, and like
That's really
community
cool.
gardening. And like, you know between your sidewalk and the road, that grass, they made that into gardens.
Oh, cool.
So that, and then everybody can eat it. They're like,
Yeah.
whatever, we're gonna make food accessible and
Yeah.
available here so nobody should feel like they're too poor to eat.
Yeah.
You can just eat here.
Yeah.
And so we watched that, and then he was so into gardening. And so I was like, we should ask the board if we can make some garden boxes because we have the yard, but it's like common property. So I was like, we should ask the board if we can make some gardening boxes, grow food, and then put it in the lobby, and people can like grab some
take what
lettuce
they
or
want,
grab
yeah.
whatever. And we had this plan, but then it's like when COVID was no longer existent, well, like when everybody went back to their
Yeah.
lives, we had soccer and hockey and
Yeah.
bike riding and all the stuff. And it was like, we never got to it. But I like the idea of gardening. I love potatoes. Like I love potatoes
They're
so
so good.
much.
Yeah.
Like every kind of potato and every style. And so my friend came and she stayed here. Her sister in the Bay Area in San Francisco is like a farmer. And so she'll go on the weekends and help her harvest or whatever. And so when she came and visited me, I eat raw potatoes even. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, they're delicious. I love them. She's like, you can grow your own potatoes like in a sack in your kitchen. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so she sent me a video where as soon as you get that ear, you cut it off. And like it grows a bunch of ears, whatever, you can cut them off, let them kind of rot a bit, and then put them in dirt in like a bag or a sack or a pot or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll grow. And I was like, but how do you get them how do you not eat them so they get the ear? because I will just.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I don't understand
Yeah.
that
You
because
don't know
I will
how to
just
keep a
eat it.
potato.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't keep a potato, just like I can't keep a man. I
Oh,
use it and it's gone.
that's so sad. Now I know what to get you for Christmas.
A man or a potato? Maybe a potato man. Mr.
man.
Potato.
A pre-eared potato.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what you need.
just
Yeah.
nibble around the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Oh, can you give me all your ears?
I have
You don't have
potatoes
to-
in a box in my garage that have been there for 3 months that are like sprouting out that I keep meaning to plant.
Yes.
I should have brought some for you.
Oh,
I didn't know.
we'll have coffee soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring you a potato.
Yeah.
Sprout
A potato?
I'll
I
bring
mean,
you
you have a
only
whole
need
box
one.
of potatoes.
No, you just cut off the part that has the ear and then they all grow new
So
potatoes.
how many grow from one ear? I picture one growing from
No,
that. Is that a
it's like-
lot?
Yeah, you can get a lot of them.
Huh.
Yeah. You can like probably, and I've only grown potatoes a couple times, but probably like 4 or 5 or more
Huh.
from each little sprout.
How long does it take?
A season.
Okay.
Maybe 90 days
Yeah.
to get little ones, and then the longer you have, the bigger they get. I've never grown them indoors though. That's an exciting thought.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, she's got a big sack.
Well, and 'tis the season because like planting, like now's the time to plant.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
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 I love it. Do you have a garden?
There's a garden box that became an anthill.
Oh, I love anthills.
And
fun.
so I bought some seeds this year. I'm going to try and grow things.
Yeah.
But I usually have the kiss of death for garden plants.
Oh no.
So we'll see what I do. But I'm starting with a weed, which is dill, because I
dill.
make
Oh, yeah.
pickles and stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to get the dill going. And I know it can really grow out of control.
Yeah.
But that's what I need, something that's real independent kind of thing.
I tried to grow dill and I couldn't.
Oh, really?
And mint too. My mom's like, mint just grows. And it's like, it's such a hot patio.
Oh,
that
yeah.
it just
It's like
was like-
all sun all the time.
Yeah. I needed to like water it all of the time and maybe shade it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm not great with outdoors plants.
Yeah.
Indoor plants I got better at once I got divorced. It's like somehow they lived, but they didn't live before that. I
Right.
had the worst. I couldn't keep a
Yeah.
plant before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to grow my own vegetables, but it's just the effort of
Yeah.
like, I think it's okay. I think it is this. I like you've seen. Well, we've even worked together. I like. What are we doing? Done. What's next?
Yes.
I like.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Done.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like I like to. What I know what we're doing. Let's do
Yeah.
it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas gardening, it's like. I even did like the peppers one year where, like all the seeds inside the peppers. So I put them all out and I put them in dirt and they grew these little things. And I'm like, oh, now I have to plant them somewhere. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I feel like I already did my part.
I get that. I get that for sure.
Yeah.
But I also think like this is like maybe a bigger point, but like we have so much technology right now that has taken away important like human skills
Yeah.
or like animal survival skills.
And the
That-
time and space.
Yeah. So it's like I want to actually prioritize gardening because I'm like, that's an important actual like skill to have, or like repairing things
Yeah.
or like being able to repair your clothing or your shoes or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've just kind of abandoned knowing
Yeah.
how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of right now like into that world of like, what are some important skills that I need? Because I do feel like a bit of an impending apocalypse. I never felt that way before COVID, really. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
that was like crazy
So
nonsense talk.
ridiculous, yeah.
Now I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
So I think like gardening to me is one of those things that we should like
No.
know how
Yeah.
to do a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so good for stress too. Like yesterday I was having a day, so I spent 2 hours like ripping a bush out and straightening my garden beds and pulling weeds, and it feels good to get your hands in the soil.
Yeah.
And I think there's actually some enzymes that like actually reduce your stress when you put your
Yes.
hands
Well,
in.
even being around like, there's like, what's it called? Forest bathing. And I think you're going to get the similar thing when you're gardening,
Yeah.
right? It's that,
Yeah.
it's the chemicals and the energy from the plants. You're going to have that peaceful energy and it's just cathartic. Whereas that's what I meant when I'm like, we don't have the time and space because of social media.
Yeah.
Because we're, instead of going to do these tasks or whatever that
Yeah.
are like become this huge task in my mind. It becomes this huge thing I need to do. And instead I could just scroll or answer emails or watch something for inspiration or create something. But it's like, I probably need to go for a walk or go gardening.
And then you'll remember how much you like it.
Yeah.
And
you'll be like,
yeah.
like so much more calm.
Yeah.
So what is your process for writing?
Such a smooth transition.
Yeah. That's how we do.
Speaking of anxiety.
Changing gears. Yeah.
I like to think about things for a very long time. So I think about it and then I think about it some more and then I go away from it and then I think about it some more and then I put off writing it and then I write a little bit of it and then I think about it some more.
Do you like
Does
when
it
you
sound
think about
familiar?
it? Is it like it totally does. When you think about it, is it like you're building the world, you're building characters? Are you like thinking about how they interact? Are you thinking about dialogue? Like what is it?
Yeah. So I've been working on a series that I absolutely love, and I think I've thought about this one a lot more than any of the other things that I've written, because I think about the girls, my main characters, in the world that they inhabit, and I try and think about like all of the little things and how they would react to situations, and then you can come up with infinite storylines if you can kind of get into that headspace.
Yeah.
And then you're like, someone says, "Oh, I need to know like your 5-season arc." You're like, "Oh, boom, 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 boom," because I've thought about it so much.
Natural progression for this character.
Exactly. Yeah. And then throw in some obstacles and see what else sort of happens to them. And then they always surprise me too. Like I'm working on a film right now and I think I know them, and then someone will say something. I'm like, oh yeah, oh that's something that happened.
Yeah.
Look at that. So it's kind of exciting to work in that. I like to imagine things, and I never thought that I would be able to have a career where I could just make up stuff all day long, which I really love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah. And so we met at Banff last year.
Yes.
Banff Media Festival. And then we met for coffee after that just because we're like, oh, we're both cool and we live in the same city.
Yes.
How come we don't know each other? And then from that, you did script editing on a feature that I wrote with my friend Emily. And and so now it was just a cool process to go through.
Yeah, it was
and
really
it's like
fun to work with you.
Yeah, and so random to like meet you because I remember Sandy and I were like walking through the halls and you were just like on your own, but you were just so cute and like, hi. And I was like, hi, how's it going?
I'm socially anxious, so it was really interesting to me to go to Banff because I was like, I have nothing to lose, and I know like 4 people in this whole entire room.
Yeah.
And I think you guys were standing in line for something, and I made a stupid joke about something.
Love you.
You guys were like, hey, and I was like, oh no, these are my people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I got to meet a lot of people and that I'm still chatting with about work, and I'm a lot of new experiences and a lot of things that sort of make you think about things. That's what I like to do also for my process, is like get out of the normal routine of things and do different things, and then you meet new people and you have new experiences and get to look at things and touch new things and see how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in writing they say like you should write what you know, but then I think that's a great base. But then your characters should go different places than you would normally go, which is what's exciting, right?
Yeah, like who knows about space? Like who has that life experience to be like, I'm writing about aliens.
Are you writing about
No,
aliens?
I'm not. but it's all you take your basic character of, the people that you love and know and the people that you hate and know.
Oh yeah.
And then put them in unusual circumstances and see what they do.
I think that's one of my favorite things is like, when you meet those people that just really irritate you or annoy you, and I get so irritated and annoyed, and it like takes me a couple minutes of that, and then I'm like, oh, you're a character. You're a character. And then it's like, then I love them. Then I'm like, oh, what else? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Let me really, really understand
How does your
you.
mind work? And,
And then I'm like, you're this character
What
and
has
I'm going to
happened to you in the
exploit.
past to make you such a terrible person?
Yes.
Tell me a backstory.
Yeah.
What's your trauma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who hurt you? No, I really want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
You're
story?
like one of those energy suckers. You're like, tell me about your trauma.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Your dad did what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about your father.
Your mom was terrible?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's so true though. Like, you know, you're in the grocery store and someone's having an adult temper tantrum and you're like, what happened? Like,
Yeah.
not just
This
today,
is
but
not
all
what
the way
happened.
back.
Something else happened.
No one's this upset about cornflakes. Like,
I was at the farmer's market, the Calgary farmer's market one time when my kids were little. Cade would have been really little because he was pushing that little baby shopping
yeah.
cart. And he was ahead of me in the parking lot. And I was right there. But like, you know, he was ahead of me.
Yeah.
And he's walking along with the shopping cart and he's kind of on the curb. And then this woman kind of sees me and she goes, "Oh my God, is that your son?" And I said, yeah, he's my son. And thinking she's gonna be like, "Oh, he's so cute." She's like, "You're a terrible mother." And I'm like, I'm literally at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally the best kind of person right now. I'm paying high prices on
Local
food
produce.
because I'm such a good person.
Yeah.
How can I be a bad mother? And I remember walking away from being like, I would never call somebody a bad mother. She must be having the worst day of her
Yeah.
life.
yeah.
Like, I was able to be like, not react because I could have totally just lost it on
Yeah.
her. So I was having a good day, which is a blessing because she was having a bad, if I had had a bad day,
Oh, yeah.
that would have been explosive.
Yeah.
Just the end of it. There's something really lovely though about getting to that point in your life where you can go, "Oh, this isn't about me.
Yes.
Yes.
This is about you. You are the terrible person."
It takes time to figure that
Yeah.
out though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But once you get there, it's really, really nice.
It is.
I
It's
love that.
liberating.
Might be a little bit of a coping mechanism at this point in my life too.
Yeah,
Being
I'm
like,
like,
I'm
I'm
not
okay.
the problem.
Yeah.
I'm okay. They're not
I'm
okay.
never the problem.
Well, you're okay to me, and I
Oh,
think you're okay to
thanks.
Meg. And we really appreciate you being
You two
on
are
the
swell
show.
as well.
Can we use that in our promo?
Swell as well.
Hey, we're swell as well.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
We
thanks for
are
having
doing
me.
an organic hug at the end of all of these. Would you like to force yourself into an organic hug with us? Okay,
Yes.
let's do it. Thank you
Here
so
we go.
much. Yay!
Yay, I don't know where to put my face.